Again. Good evening to all. I'd like to welcome everyone for being here this evening. Thank you. Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas on August 14th, 2024 at the hour of 5:30 p.m. for consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on August 8, 2024 at 2:45 p.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551-041, 551-050, not less than 72 hours prior to the time of the said meeting. Today, we do have a quorum present. We have Mr. Lauder, Mr. Friedman, and Mr. Donahue. Mr. Starkey said he will not be available to join us, and Dr. Lalonde is running late due to traffic. If I may please have everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you again for all that you did today and make this meeting and the only thing that we try to do is do the best that we can do for the citizens and again, the little more
Amen. Thank you. For the record, we have Dr. Lalonde joining the meeting.
Yeah.
That takes us to item 3, invitation to the audience for public comments. Is there Zoom audience? Is there staff audience? Public audience? Staff, board? Okay, let's move along to item 4. Consider and discuss the possible approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of July 10th, 2024.
Make a motion that we approve.
Motion made by Mr. Lauder,
Second.
second by Dr. Lalonde. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed. Motion carries. Item 5, general manager's report.
It's been around 19.7 for the August the 1st for now. It's 19.4 for a little bit under the normal level. 19.7 and we continue to go lower. It looks like it's 10 days at 19.7 and 3 days at 19.6 and then 2 days at 18.5 now 19.4 today. So we're still at that level for continue to rain out like a watershed, but very little. Level at that amount. So we just have to continue praying for more rain as a watershed and we've done that very good. But yeah, so what it is now, and continue to pray that stage 23, the rate and the management plan. And that's all it is for that. And the next bullet I have is the election update is not to forget, November 10th is the election date. So all I need to that's very much thanks. Questions or anything?
Thank you, Carlos. Let's take it to item 6, Director of Operations report. Item 7.
Okay. Oh, I feel bad. I spent 3 hours reading this.
The operations report for the month of July. Comparing that to that of June on the distribution side. July had 350 call out service calls, whereas the month of June has 277. So there was an increase of 73 service calls. The most affected were change in meters, informational, check and return occupant change and disconnect cut. On the collection side, for the month of July, we had 91 service orders call out. Comparison to that of June, there were 59. The areas that were more affected were sewer backup, which went up, and preventive maintenance that went up. In the area of devastation and pre-treatment, it remained relatively even as part of the service calls. Callouts in July it was 45, in June they had 42. That's the operation support. Questions?
Thank you, Robert. Item 7, consider and discuss for possible approval, a resolution adopting a revised service policy, general rules and regulations for the Laguna Madre Water District, resolution number 212-08-2024.
Yes, so that resolution is in accordance with the changes that were made in the customer service policy, if we refer to it, and it's actually the service policy, general rules and regulations. The resolution reads as follows. Resolution adopting revised service policy for the Laguna Madre Water District, State of Texas, County of Cameron, whereas the board of directors of the district finds it necessary to revise and update the policy and procedures for the service policy, general rules and regulations. And whereas the board of directors acknowledge that service policy, general rules and regulations set forth by this resolution supersede any previously adopted policies and procedures. And whereas these revisions set forth by this resolution are deemed to be in public interest and be resolved by the board of directors of the Laguna Madre Water District, that the service policies, general rules and regulations is hereby adopted with this resolution and attached and incorporated herein as part of the resolution. It should receive all previous policy adopted and procedures for service and regulation. That includes this 14th day of August of 2024. This resolution, service policy refers to changes that we made this year. The last time that it was brought to the board was back in February 13th of 2019. And previous to that was January of 14th, 1987.
Yeah, I move that we approve. I think it's great. I move that we approve. Yeah, I've gone through all of them.
Okay,
Yeah, I think you guys make great changes.
great. So I had provided for you a copy, a summary of the changes that were made.
Yeah.
If you're happy with that, I am too.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Balder, second by Mr. Donahue. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. They're not opposed. Motion does carry. Thank you for putting in the effort. I know it was a.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just was happy with everything. Yeah.
You're not heard of it?
Thank you, Robert. Let's take it to item 8, district engineers report, Charles.
We'll see. Let's see, so.
6.
So status of lift station 1 rehab project. That's the more. The heights, like the never ends and it still hasn't, today they're still trying to get this, last sewer main installed. Making the place.
No.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at on that one. You know, at the end of the job, we're gonna, once they can get to the finishing point, then we'll just look at assessing what bigger damages, settling out the final contract. For the ground this week. And we'll just get down to the driveway and then all the bunch of sites. That's where we're at, you know, on the lift station project. There's any other questions on that side?
It's good to hear.
Jumping on to the next one, it's just the construction status of the largest. And that one, it's you know, agriculture, they're basically their equipment is ready for shipment first week of September. They'll wait on material for the building itself. So the metal building and some blocks should be here in September. So once we have the building ready to go, should be in October, we can receive that equipment, it should be ready to ship. And so, pretty much in the water plant, it's essentially proceeding as planned. I mean, it's a few months behind. Probably the longest lead time right now is the electrical equipment. Still need to get approved through the snow process. But that's going to be the one that drags us out the longest. Just to get receiving the motor control center to switch gear. I think that's kind of the thing that's doing this on its critical path. So I mean, at this point, I think we might be a couple of months behind the schedule to reach into the projected date for the water plant. But other than that, I mean, it's really smooth for what's in construction here for Isabel. And then as far as the additional contracts that we haven't advertised yet, we got 4 contracts under various review with Texas Water. And that's basically the traffic pump station at Reservoir 3, the here, elevator storage tank number 6. And then the high surface pump station we have at the water plant 2. So for those 3, we actually have comments from water developers. We're paying responsible. We got everything for this elevator storage tank back to the board. So hopefully within 2 weeks we'll have our approval for construction. So the first contract that we'll be able to advertise and get under the construction contract is going to be this elevator storage tank. So we'll finally get that one probably starting in October. And then the transport pump station, that one's still needing the approval from the floodplain administrator. That's the only thing holding that process up. So once we can get past that hurdle, that one should follow pretty quickly to get it out. So either the contract. And then
Why is there such a delay with that?
it's just a real slow process with water development board. Just their responsiveness. For example, that external feasibility report we had finished July of the prior year, and we got the approved the response from the water development board to say what's approved today for this year. So it's just, and now we're at the point of trying to get them to review plans and give us copies. And before, there's some middle of April that we're still trying to get them to approve.
Yeah, they're lengthy.
Yes, they're just, it's going through a cycle of comments at this stage, so that's what we're seeing. But that's really the status of water system. Next, probably jumping off the seawater system. So, this one, let's see. Folks, we've got an actual resolution here from the board commitment, so that'll be an action item today. And prior to that, I suppose we can jump into a presentation here by North Sale. Give us the task for that.
Good afternoon, it's every North Dow.
Welcome.
Next slide, please. Just to show, this is covering the areas that are outstanding, that we have, currently feasibility study, initial permitting, discharge permit, public outreach, the pilot protocol design, and the environmental. We're just gonna kind of give everybody an update as to where these guys are and, scheme thing. So the feasibility study, it's currently gone through, at least one draft review. We're working with Charles, getting the comments from the staff down there for that. And expect to have this out, by next week. Depending on some travel things in between, it may be that it slides a few days, but that's our target for getting the feasibility study out to the Bureau of Reclamation for them to start their review process. They may come back with questions, we'll try to move around as quickly as we can and try and get that to be, approved from them. On the public stakeholder meetings, right now we're looking to kick those off more towards the end of this month. I think Bill Norris, my partner, made a presentation about a little over a month ago, kind of going through the presentation that we have with the public outreach program, and we'll be initiating that with these folks coming up, like I said, starting at the end of the month and going through the next couple of months after that. Also, the steering committee, has been identified, Charles brought that forward, been identified. That will be, implemented as well, then to help with the messaging in the community and getting, any feedback that comes back through that community to get that worked into the process, as we go forward. On the initial permits and approvals, right now, today, the, scheduled, turn-in time for the, water diversion is gonna be, the 30th of August. On the, diversion rights, is to be submitted by the 5th of September. That's the temporary diversion rights, which was the 30th of August, and then the permanent diversion rights, which will be at the intake site, that we're talking about on the 5th of September. The intake location exemption, as we reported, that's been completed, turned into TCEQ and approved. So we've gotten that exception request approved, which was basically defining that we were inside of their distance from the dock. And so they said, you're okay to be inside that distance from the dock, and gave us a criteria of things that we have to check on and make sure that we incorporate into the design relative to signage, and then some operational issues with that as well. And then the discharge permit, which is going to be the big one relative to regulatory approval from TCEQ, and then the Army Corps of Engineers. Everybody's going to be looking at TCEQ's approval of that. So that's going to be a large component of the permitting process of the project. It's going to be submitted on August 30th. Any questions on that? Those pieces. The pilot testing, which will be taking place, test again the full scale plant, and identify any issues, and make any changes that have to be done with that. The protocol for that, which is the first step, which defines what we'll be testing, how we'll be testing it, how we'll be setting it up. That was turned in to TCEQ today, and they've acknowledged receipt of it. So that's into them for their review, and it will be a 90-day process more or less with them on that. The pilot engineering currently is about 95% complete, and we'll be working to finish that up here as well. And we've received permission from Pilot to set up the temporary facility for the intake on their dock. We received permission from Texas PAC to set the Pilot equipment up in their parking lot. They've designated an area there. So all of that's been cleared, and we'll be coming back in September to bring forward the work order for the pilot setup and installation. That's going to be because they're in the marketplace today. Right now, there's a lot of demand on the pilot equipment that's out there. The manufacturers, have their pilot skids, and they have those, and so we need to get in the queue to get what we need of those into our system here. But we need to get in their queue, make our orders, get all that stuff going. So that's why, it's that we will be bringing that forward next month in order to get those things rolling and have any lead times to them, so we can have it in place and up and running as we're looking to have it into the schedule. And then the pilot construction and operation, like I said, that's will be a separate work order that will come forward with the meeting next month. The environmental, it is the feasibility portion of the environmental has been completed, and we have that as an appendix to the feasibility study. So it'll be going in with that to the Bureau of Reclamation here this month, and the full environmental study is back underway. And right now, the review is looking at, the issues relative to defining the oysters and how that would be, the oyster beds that are the area of intake, how that would be, the protocols for that, going back to Texas Parks and Wildlife, to make sure that how it's gonna be looked at, that it's gonna be the way that they're gonna want, so that when the answers come out, they're accepting them as the findings, that what the bottom actually looks like there. So that's back underway and rolling, and that's kind of the update of where we are on that now. Any questions on any of those components? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes the engineering report.
Thank you, Charles. Item 9, discuss and take action on a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a financing agreement with the Texas Water Development Board, TWDB, relating to financial assistance being provided by the TWDB for seawater desalination project, resolution number 213-08-2024.
Yeah, these, finance agreement resolution, follow.
Yes.
Is this just a motion to approve, or is this a roll call?
It is an action.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Dr. Lawn, I don't know who made the second, Mr. Donahue. All those are in favor?
Aye.
None are opposed, the motion does carry. Thank you. Item 10, consider and discuss the possible approval of amendment number 1 with SWG Engineering for the engineering design of Long Island Village water and wastewater infrastructure improvements.
So as you're aware, we, had been coming over, but, we had to come up with a lot of creative ways to get Long Island Village into the budget. So what we did is we actually did it to reduce the budget representative, budget by $100. So that'll make up the in-house. So this is actually the effort change order, reducing their contract service amount by 100,000. So it's long term, this is point setback, looking at the
Is Long Island Village okay with this change? I assume they are.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, we've had a town hall meeting in Congress.
Okay, I know there were some pending items with Long Island Village that we missed at the last one. Okay, great. Motion to approve number 10.
Second.
Motion for approval made by Dr. Lalonde, second by Mr. Vaughn. All those in favor?
Aye.
There are none opposed. Motion does carry. Item 11, consider and discuss for possible ratification of emergency repair for buy board proposal number 730-24 from Southern Trenchless Solutions for sanitary sewer, water, and paving improvements for Long Island Village Seaside Living Community. Announced Seaside Living Community.
Okay, this one here is the one that, I talked about, it has movement, before the changes, and from that to the 24th. And we're gonna be some, items, we didn't do the adjustment. So that's why we bring it back to the board. Long as we really, we think, really have to transfer to, house, and then, everything for them. Any questions on that one?
So this is a motion to ratify? Right, a motion to ratify.
Motion made by Dr. Lalonde,
Second.
second by Mr. Donahue. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are, none are opposed, motion carries. Thank you. It's a good day for Long Island. Item 12, consider and discuss the possible approval of the quarterly investments report for the quarter ending June 2024.
Want to highlight the investment returns for quarter ending June 2024. Portfolio made 5.26 with the average yield for the portfolio for the quarter, 825%.
We just need to acknowledge.
Thank you.
Knowledge.
Acknowledged by Mr. Water, acknowledged
Acknowledged.
by Dr. Lalonde, acknowledged by Mr. Freeman, and acknowledged by Mr. Donahue. Item 12, consider and discuss for the possible approval of the quarterly investment report for the quarter ending June 2024. Oh, that is, yeah.
That's what we just
13, consider and discuss for possible approval of the proposed tax rate to be published in the notice of a public hearing to be held at August 2024, 5:30 p.m. and subsequent adoption of the tax rate of the regular meeting following the public meeting.
So I have calculated the tax rates for the district and the non-Island Village defined area. Tax rate for the district this year would be 6.2 cents per $100 of value. That's an increase from the 5.6 cents last year. This includes the $10 million in bonds that we just approved in previous item 10. And the Long Island Village, the tax rate for them is 54 cents. And that's down from 56 cents per $100. On this, I will need a roll call because we're going to publish these in the newspaper tomorrow. And I have to list their names.
Dave, we'll start with you.
I just have to make an approval.
What's that?
Roll call just by,
Yes,
Yeah.
Just for or against.
I'm for.
for the record, Mr. Waters for.
4.
For the record, Dr. Lalonde for, Mr. Friedman for. Mr. Donahue for. All four for.
4.
Thank you. Item 14, consider and discuss for possible approval, the purchase of a 3-ton complete AC unit for the lab department.
The chairman, members of the board, we need to replace the AC for the lab. It's requirement for PCP. So staffing recommended for approval for purchase of complete AC unit 10-ton to Andy's AC repair for $13,981.
Is this a brand new one?
Yes, sir.
That's a good buy.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion for approval made by Dr. Lalonde, second by Mr. Potter. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
There are none are opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 15, consider and discuss for possible approval the purchase of a 5/8 water meter and a 4-inch mag meters.
Purchase is for inventory restock. So staff is recommended for approval on the water contracts with water works metrology for the purchase of 28 5/8 water meters and 4 4-inch mat meters for $36,678.96.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion for approval by Mr. Water,
Second.
second by Dr. Lalonde. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
There are none opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 16, consider and review expenditures from July 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2024. Questions, comments about anyone in particular? Otherwise, we need to acknowledge all of them.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledged by all the board. Anything else? No. Item 17, executive session. Permitted by the Open Meetings Act, VTCA Government Code Section 551001, under Section 551071, consultation of attorney, under Section 551072, deliberations about real property. Discussion and possible action concerning negotiations with the Hess Corporation and Port Isabel San Benito Navigation District for the seawater intake structure and pipeline. If I may please go into executive session at 5:59 PM. So we will continue to proceed. Executive session permitted discussion and possible action concerning negotiations with Hess Corporation and Port Isabel San Benito Navigation District for seawater intake structure and pipeline.
Motion to proceed as directed.
Motion made to proceed as directed by Dr. Lalonde,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Donahue. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
There are. That concludes this regular meeting. That takes us to item 19, adjournment at 6:37 PM.